19, 20, 21.
22, lucky number.
Ain't lucky today.
Last week, I ran across one of the most incredible pieces of home-built motorcycle history. I was at the Antique Motorcycle Swap Meet in Davenport, Iowa, and managed to pick a rare 1957 Harley-Davidson Sportster side hack from legendary picker Mike Wolfe. The bike sat in a barn for almost 50 years before Mike bought it and brought it to the swap. Luckily for me, I was the first one to see it. The bike immediately caught my eye, and the price was right, so we got it loaded up and headed for home. Today, our goal is to see if we can get this bad boy running, and if we can, put it to the test to find out how it matches up against this. I think this thing is gonna run today. So as of right now, the bike doesn't run. The first thing we had to do was pull it back to the shop to get a closer look at what it's gonna take to make it go. And once again, I've got my trusty pal Ken to help lighten the load. All right, good deal. Way cool. Unbelievable. I hit the shifter. I was going for the brake, and because it's a Sportster, everything's on the other side. In 1957, Harley-Davidson introduced the Sportster. Introduced as the Model XL, the new machine carried many of the same features as its flathead predecessor, the KH, but featured a new, powerful 900cc overhead valve engine and 4-speed transmission. Produced in various configurations from 1957 all the way to 2022, it became one of the longest-running models in the history of internal combustion, totaling 75 years of production. Now, early Sportsters are getting really hard to find, and what makes this Sportster particularly cool is that it's a first-year model. Less than 2,000 were produced. And although it's highly modified, all of the original parts came with it. The forks, the fenders, the lights. If we wanted to, we could put this bike back to its original condition. But of course, that's not what we're here to do. This is a Sportster on steroids, Ken. Just a tank screwdriver. I don't know when that thing's been sitting in there since. Look, they made it in a rigid rear end there. One of the things I was noticing, I was going through the stuff, Ken, and there's only one shock. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh man, they lost it, but they actually used it. I noticed they used it over here on the control arm. So guys, 57 Sportster with the side hack. This thing's been totally prepped for enduro racing. Well, they basically made this thing as much of a tank as they possibly could. High pipe, look at that really cool high pipe. You guys saw the winch works. We got the front control arm. I think in the stuff it said that's from a 51 Chevy or something like that.
Right, so lower arm. Lower arm
there. So normally, guys, the sidecars are rigid. I think this is the original seat to this bike. So yeah, original paint on the tank. I don't know what this is here. It kind of looks like tape, man, and I think that's gonna peel off, which is really cool. I don't know if I should leave it on or take it all off, Ken. I guess I'm taking it off. All the original paint's underneath that, so that ought to shine up really nice. Funky high bars, check these out, man. These bark busters keep your knuckles safe when you're out there riding. You keep in mind, you're riding this stuff through woods, in between trees. This right here will keep you from breaking fingers and knuckles. It's got a panhead front end on it. So that's like a 1-year only front end, but they still use the Sportster front wheel. What's that? It's a 19. They still use the Sportster front wheel with the integrated brake and the Sportster backing plate. So yeah, just to adapt this is a ton of work.
They would have kept their sheet stuff and
that'd be your route sheet on there.
Right.
Yeah, he's taking orders for lunch.
Boy, they had GPS.
This here, I think this for you getting stuck in the sand.
Get it down the hole.
Man. The first Jack Pine Endurance Run was held in 1923 and put on by the Lansing Motorcycle Club. What began as an 800-mile off-road race through Michigan's backcountry pitted riders against countless obstacles and difficult terrain, eventually crowning the winner as the national endurance champion. Using a system of secret checkpoints, riders were given a time card to track their progress, and points were awarded or deducted based on the accuracy of their arrival. Simply put, the most points or the lowest deductions wins. There were expert and amateur classes, and classes for both solo and sidecar bikes. By the time this 57 Sportster competed in the Cowbell Classic, the run had been shaved down to 500 miles over 2 days and was just as popular as the races at Daytona and Laconia. Riders had to fabricate and modify their own machines to compete against some of the toughest obstacles that Mother Nature had to offer. Rivers, creek crossings, log bridges, miles of sand. Keep in mind, guys, this was a time when there was no such thing as an off-road motorcycle. I think what it said in the photos, now I got some really cool history with this thing. I think what it said in the photos is that they got $4 of scrap steel and welded this sidecar up. So they got custom grab handles. These are from like a Harley buddy seat. Yeah, man, what a cool bike. Tons of character. So the reason I bought this bike was because it had just that character. This bike is completely one of a kind, hand fabbed for its use. So this thing has the racer and the previous owner just written all over it. Tons of ingenuity and experience went into this. You don't just drum this thing up off your first enduro race, you know? I mean, to put something like this together, this guy probably logged a lot of miles. The earliest records we have of this machine competing is in the 1965 Jack Pine run, with Lou Zock as the rider and Butch Crawford as the passenger and navigator. They competed in the Class B sidecar event, but were forced to bow out early due to clutch issues. Over the next few years, the bike evolved into its current form, which was last raced in 1967 at the Canadian National Enduro. 432 miles of swamps, logs, and rocky terrain, and these guys managed to come away with second place in the sidecar class. From the looks of it, this thing was rolled off the course and put in the garage and hasn't seen daylight for decades. Okay, we're gonna get this thing fired up and running. All the, you know, this throttle works, you know, it's not too sticky. Gas tank's clean.
It's got oil.
It's got oil in there? Okay, we got oil. I wonder if it's got compression. Oh yeah, that's got good compression. I wonder if we got spark. It looks like it was running fine.
It does.
When it was running last. Okay, let's see if there's any spark on there. I'll kick it over, Ken. Anything?
No, you have to turn something on, there's no spark.
It's a mag, man, it ought to fire. So fire up one of these bikes, what you need is compression, spark, and fuel. We got no spark, we're gonna start with the magneto. Ken, I think to get to that mag, we gotta pull the carburetor off, don't we?
Looks like it.
All right. Yeah, there's gas in there. Ooh, looky there, that stinks too.
I'm gonna get a short screwdriver for that mag.
That's what we'll do. First order of business, let's get spark, because if we don't have spark, there's no point in even working on this. Meanwhile, original paint underneath this, and it's sitting here in this hot sun right now, just baking. Oh yes. I bet this tank underneath is freaking beautiful. Oh. I wasn't wasting time, Ken, I promise.
Sure.
We couldn't have picked a hotter day to do this. I think this is the hottest day of the year in Maggie Valley, and we're standing out here in the sun. We sure could use a big shop right now with lifts and shade and air conditioning. So this bike has a magneto, which provides the spark. The first step is to pop the top and sand the points. Sometimes just a little bit of corrosion will keep it from making spark and firing. Back to the plugs. Sorry. Getting distracted.
Nope.
No.
Maybe.
Maybe?
I guess I'm gonna have to stick my finger in there. No. All right, go ahead and shock me.
You gonna take one for the team?
Yeah.
You don't have a pacemaker, do you?
No. Ow.
This is the definition of teamwork.
No. No.
Oh yeah, I got a little bit. I got some on there.
Okay.
Oh.
It went in the oil bath.
Fouled it. All right, so we got spark. Now we're cleaning the carburetor. When the Sportster was introduced in 1957, Harley-Davidson started using the Linkert DC carburetor. The new design was lighter weight and incorporated less parts. Testing the float. See if we've got a good seal there. If we don't, it's gonna leak gas all over the place. That's kind of nice. Yeah, that was gummy. Look at it. Now we're gonna have another moment of truth and see what this sucker looks like. Oh, yeah, see? That's no good. Yeah, so it never was gonna idle. That's what tends to get plugged up is the idle circuit or the low speed circuit on the carburetor when it sits. You know, a lot of times you'll be able to run them wide open, but not run them on the low end. I think we're gonna get this carburetor back together, Ken. Bolt it on, you got the plugs in, so I think it's gonna be easy, man. Couple kicks, and we should be blasting up the hill. You gonna be the passenger?
Sure.
Okay, float back on. We didn't even disturb a gasket here, which is a mirror. Ooh. I think I'm gonna go find a new gasket. I'm sure that I've got one.
And that's probably the only one.
If you guys are wondering why my gasket drawers are a mess, you just saw why. We got this, then we had spring, and then this covered the magneto back over here. Like, yay, I think we're ready to bolt this sucker back on, Ken.
I still don't understand why he did that.
Look at it. Oh, yeah.
It looks like he did the whole tank.
He did. Had the whole tank covered. Come on,
Let's don't worry about that now.
Give me a big one. Give me a big one. Ah, yeah, yes.
That's not going to help it run.
Okay. There. Now, let's put this on first.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got... Get my beard out of it. Jesus.
I can fix that.
Okay, Dad.
Where's my scissors?
Tighten that sucker up. And then we should be ready to run. All right. We're gassed up. We got choke. How many kicks you think?
25.
25?
Yeah.
You're supposed to say 4.
Okay, 4.
All right, we got gas. Hadn't even popped yet. When I bought this bike, I thought it was gonna fire right up, and that is apparently not the case. At this point, it's kind of got me stumped.
19, 20, 21.
22, lucky number.
Ain't lucky today. No checkered flag.
This is not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. What do you think? You wanna try some new plugs? Let's try some plugs. Oh, yeah. Plugs are... Was this the plug you dropped in the oil? Why it wasn't sparking? It looks wet.
Well, they're Corvette plugs.
I think that was the plug you dropped in the oil.
Okay, that might have been the plug I dropped in the oil.
All right, plugs on.
Gas is on.
Gas is, you turned the gas on?
Yeah.
I don't think I had a gas on when we were kicking it. Okay, compression, spark, and fuel. We forgot the fuel part. Okay, here we go. How many kicks now?
4.
10, 4. We got any gas?
No.
Oh!
Must have.
We got gas now. That's the good noise right there.
One more will be 4.
One more. Were you ready?
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Yes! These old bikes were made to stand the test of time. This one hasn't run in over 50 years, and in less than an afternoon's work, it is up and running. A little bit more tuning, and she'll be ready for the mountain. Let's see if the clutch works.
Kinda.
Wow. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. The Jack Pine Sportster hack lives again. So, we got it started. Now the task is to see if we can get this sucker to run up this hill. It's crazy that they used to do this for over 500 miles. I mean, this road is pretty much maintained and it's kicking us all over the place. Well, we made it to the top. Nervous going down the hill.
Yeah, so we got the brake.
You nervous? Break. Bump. Yo. After just a mile or two on this thing, it's easy to see what made the Jack Pine run the nation's toughest enduro race. This thing is sketchy. You done? He's off. Well, we made it. Straight to the top. Thing's running perfect. We didn't even have to use the winch. Jack Pine Sportster side hack back in business, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the channel, guys. If you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe. We got a ton more content coming your way.